Ever wonder what separates a good miter saw from a great one? Well, I just got my hands on the Bosch GCM 12 GDL Miter Saw. And in today's video, we're going to explore its standout features, put it through some tests, and find out whether it truly is the best miter saw for your money. Stick around, this is one review you're not going to want to miss. The main thing that separates the Bosch from its competitors is the Axial Glide system. It has two large aluminium arms with 12 maintenance-free sealed bearings. This is what allows it to glide freely and smooth with barely any force. You can also lock off the glide system with a simple flick of this rear lever and change it to a Chopsaw. I've previously owned the old steel bar rail type miter saws, and they're just nowhere near as smooth, nowhere near as reliable, and I always found that sawdust and stuff would get caught in those bars, and sometimes over time they can rust. But there's no issues of that on the Bosch. The Bosch has a 2000 watt motor which does 3600 RPM. It takes a 305mm blade and the whole unit weighs 32 kilograms. It's a beast. I don't know if I'd want to be lugging this thing around from job site to job site. I'm happy mine will be staying in my workshop. The saw can cross-cut material 341mm wide, 104mm high in the center of the blade, and 162mm along the fence. To plunge the saw, you unlock this lever here with your thumb. There's two front rollers that glide over your material as you bring the saw down, and the guard is nice and clear so you can see what you're cutting. The start button is conveniently built into the handle, and the laser is easy to reach with your index finger. It seems like Bosch has put a lot of thought into this area right here. The miter controls are here at the front, and by squeezing the bottom lever, you can slide it 52 degrees to the left and 60 degrees to the right. It also has 10 spots where it will automatically lock into generic angles like 0, 22, 30, 45, etc. One of my favorite features about this miter saw, and which is a huge update from other brands, is that the beveled controls are here at the front. Normally they're over here at the back somewhere and you have to reach around and access them. You unlock this left lever at the front, and what this knob does here is that it tells you which way you can tilt the saw. So currently it's set in the left tilt position. So this saw will now only tilt to the left. If I go back to 0, it won't go past. Now if I turn that to the right side now, it'll actually allow me to tilt back to the right. And the cool thing about this miter saw is that when you go back to 0, you'll hear a click, and it self-centers itself back to 0. So you can lock off this beveled lever and you're back at 0 tilt. Another huge advantage in comparison to your standard bar miter saw is that the Bosch can go a lot closer to the wall it's up against. Once it's up against the wall, it's only about 340mm from the wall to the fence. It also does not go any further back when you're using the glide system. Because of this space-saving feature, you could build a miter saw bench anywhere from 600mm deep. With a standard generic rail type miter saw, you're probably looking more like 800 to 900mm deep, which is going to save you a lot more space in your small workshop getting the Bosch. You can lock down the plunge mechanism using this red button here when traveling or when not in use. It also has a really handy stop function here for cutting rebates and taking the midsection out of timber. This miter saw also has a handy clamp that slots in here and slides around and helps hold down material whilst you're cutting it. The saw also has these wings on the side that slide out and help you support longer material. The total bed length is now just over 1 metre. The other cool feature about these wings is this right wing actually has a built-in stop to make your accurate or repeatable cuts. Now the Bosch comes with a built-in laser that shoots 2 sharp lines either side of the blade kerf, which can come in handy because sometimes you do need to cut on both sides of the line. Lastly, this saw has a black rubber chute right at the back of the blade, and this removes about 80% of sawdust whilst cutting when plugged into a vacuum. If you're in the market for a reliable and versatile miter saw, the Bosch definitely deserves a spot on your workbench. Thanks for watching. And if you found this review helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tool reviews, tips, and woodworking projects. I'll see you in the workshop next time.